Hey, welcome back to another video. I'm on a roll here. I'm still sitting outside Holiday. And it's like 10 minutes to 5 in the afternoon. And I was looking. I've been doing quite a bit of filming today, and my gums are flapping. Anybody new here? It's not scripted. It's the real deal. I turn on the camera and just start talking. I've yet to really think about, like, plan something out or, this is what I'm going to talk about today or whatever. I've thought about doing that and making a little list of different topics to talk about, but I haven't done it yet. And but so far I just turn on the camera and start talking. So this is the real deal, unscripted, and I hit record and let it go. I don't cut out mistakes or have a blooper reel or nothing like that. Just leave it all on here because I want it to be totally real. That way you're really getting to know me totally. So I'm not looking all perfect put on the show like, oh, that didn't turn out right. Let's cut that part out. Let's say it again, you know. No, it's a real deal here. I figure this is a good time to have a real deal channel because we got all this AI floating in and stuff. And I'm not knocking any of the other channels because there's a lot of inspirational channels I watch that do a lot of editing, you know. And sometimes it's so good you don't even notice it because they'll sit right in front of their camera and they've got their studio or room or where they plan on recording. Because they're right in the camera, especially if they don't move around too much, well, when they go through the video, they can cut out sections and edit it to where you barely notice it. And like, it could be as little as I can talk to you like this, and if I cut the clip in the next clip, my head might just be turned a little bit like that. And if it's in transition of talking enough, you might not notice that little glitch, you know. Especially if your eyes blink or you looked away for a minute, you'd never know that they were editing clips. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, you know. Everybody does it their own way. But in theory, too, who knows what went on in that cut, you know, because you could do something and then you could come back and film an hour later or 2 hours later and start off from where you left off or whatever, and then you can just put these cuts together and it looks like somebody's just sitting there talking to you for this 10, 15, 20 minute time, when actually it might have taken them a day or two that whole day to make that video, and maybe they had to go to lunch or hang out with somebody and come back and then they sit down and finish recording. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So I'm not knocking anybody because there's a lot of channels that I see the cuts, especially now that I've gotten into editing. I notice cuts. Some of them are really good. Some of them you can't even hardly tell, you know, unless you know what you're looking for. Which brings me back to AI is getting really good too. AI is getting, you got to really look for stuff now to find out. It started out with just images with photos and stuff, but now even in video and stuff, you got to start really knowing what to look for. I'm telling you, there's so many people so many friends and family of mine that couldn't tell the difference for the life of them. To them, they'd say, "Oh, that's real," you know, that's scary. But anyway, this channel here is real. I turn on the camera and I start recording. Don't know what I'm going to talk about. And I'm amazed that I've got so many videos now. Because I was super camera shy in the beginning. I did not want to do this. And the reason I'm doing it is because God told me He wanted me to start talking about it more. So I started doing that with people in public because I'm real interactive with public and stuff. You know, got a gift of gab and work well with people and got good people skills. But I was very camera shy. But I knew that if I started a channel like this, because since God said He wanted me to talk about it more, that it would have the potential to reach more people. You know, that more people could hear me talking about it more. So then I got overly worried. Like, am I doing it right? I don't know enough about Scripture. I don't know my Bible well enough. I don't think, anyway. Of course, I could be underestimating myself. But, you know, because we all have our own different insecurities and stuff, and sometimes we want things to be perfect before we even try. You know, and that all that can do is that can slow us down, you know. So I just thought, nope, I'm going to go with it. And so that's what I'm doing here. And I figure the best way to share my faith and talk about God more definitely is just being me, you know. That way you're getting the total real deal. I'm not just telling you a story about God, I'm just being me. How much better can I be, you know, than that? So this is the real channel, real deal. And like I said, it's not negating anybody else's videos or what they're putting out, you know. That's my friend Jennifer calling. And I'm gonna have to, where are we at here? Yeah, Jen, I'll call you back in just a little while here. So if you watch this video, I see you calling, but I was almost gonna answer it and say, guess what? You're on video. But I'll call her back in a little bit. Because she might be stressing out, because yesterday she called me while I was editing videos over here at Holiday last night. She called me just crying, and she was so stressed out. And while she was crying, she asked me if I had time to talk with her if she drove up here. And she lives in the cities about, 30, I'm going to say 30 to 50 miles from here or something like that. So, and she was just crying, and she asked if I had time to talk with her if she came up here. And I said, of course, Said, right now I'm at Holiday editing videos. So I said, just, here's where I'll be, and I'll see you when you get here, because I've got to edit my videos. I ain't going to just shut everything down, because it'd take her an hour to get here anyway or whatever. So yeah, so she came out here, came into Holiday, and I finished up my, oh no I didn't, the last video I didn't, all I did is got it in there and saved it in my editing program, and then I never went through it and titled it or exported it. So that's got to be done yet, that one. So I'll have to reopen that one. But then I shut it all down and then got out of there, and then we came outside and talked. She hung out for a while and felt a lot better by the time she went home. She needed it. She was really stressed out. So I helped her the best I could, just with hearing everything that was going on and helping her talk through some options and stuff that she could look at. Because I'll never tell somebody, even though she was asking me last night too, well, what should I do, or how should I handle this, or what should I do? She wanted me to tell her what to do. I won't do that with people, because everybody's got to make their own decisions in life. Excuse me. Woo, woo, woo. God bless me. So, that was a tickler. So what I do, because I have a lot of people that come to me for stuff, and rather than I'll never tell them what to do, because, for example, you could tell somebody, oh, you should do this or you should do that, and then they do it and it doesn't work or it backfires, blows up in their face, then they're mad at you because they went off of what you told them to do. I'll listen to you, and then this is how it worked out. So I'll never do that, because I don't want to get put in that position. So what I do, to the best of my ability, because I care about all these people and care about people coming to me and asking me for my advice, and there's a reason they come to me for advice. Apparently I give good advice, I guess. And so I'll listen, like last night, I listened to her whole situation and then looked at multiple options of different ways to handle it, different ideas. So we went over it in each the category, subcategory, whatever. I try to give her multiple options on how to deal with each thing. Because she was asking me, well, what should I do? What should I do? Well, I was tell everybody, I can't tell you what to do. I can show you different options and ideas and how different ways I might handle it, But ultimately, you need to make that decision, because this is your life, your situation. That way, they're not doing what I'm telling them. I'm giving them, helping them see more things they're not seeing at the moment, maybe. And then while I start explaining different options, then their mind starts opening up, and then they start like, oh yeah, and I could do this, well, and they start, because when stuff's happening, you got something stressing you out, it's hard to think. So just by bouncing those ideas back and forth, and I start throwing out options of the situation, it helps take away some of that stress, which then helps people be able to start thinking on their own more too. Because when it's all happening, when you're super stressed out, it's hard to think. Some people have that skill; they can do it, and they handle stress really well. I do pretty good with it for the most part. Depends on how bad the stress is and what it is. And then I need to take a break too, so I can. Some situations I need to step away from and think about how I'm gonna No, I'm going to deal with it. I can't deal with it right on the hand on the fly. I remember one time my friend Mandy, we were having a pretty deep discussion about stuff, and it was one of those discussions where she wanted to resolve it right now. And I wasn't ready to resolve it right now. Because I knew for me it was a moment that things were too intense, and I couldn't. The situation, I just knew I needed to think about it a little bit and analyze it a little more before I responded. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm not going to give you any answers right now. I will talk to you about it later. If you want to talk about it later, after I've had time to think about it a little bit, we'll discuss it. But I'm not going to do that right now. Right now, things are too intense. This is not, for me anyway, it's not a moment to make a definitive decision at this moment, So, whether you like it or not, I'm willing to talk to you about it later, but I'm not going to do it right now. Which was very frustrating for her, I'm sure, because she wanted right now answers. So, I understand her frustration because I have that with God. There are so many things that I would like to have right now answers for. And I'm sure some of you can relate. Wouldn't we all like to have right now answers? But even with God, God's timing is different than ours. We get very impatient. I'm one of them. I'm very, very impatient because my life has been kicking the tar out of me, and I want change. I want good change. Come on, Lord, where is it? Can't you see I'm frustrated? But Lord knows what He's doing. He knows better. So sometimes, even like what I'm going through, there's a reason for it. I know it is. Even though I'm frustrated and I want change and these better things to be happening already and stuff, there's a reason that it's been a lull period and struggle and stuff. There's a reason for it. And I have learned a lot out of it. So whatever it is that's happening, it's preparing me for what's coming. I'm glad I can see that now. Now, in the past, I would have been a basket case. With all the stuff I've been through, man, I would have so long ago wanted to just curl up in the fetal position in a corner somewhere and just dissolve away, But that was the younger me that didn't know how to handle things, And there's still things that still impact me pretty heavy, but I'm getting better and better at handling stuff, I don't know. Wish I had an answer for everything. Eventually, maybe, I don't know. So, once again, don't forget to talk to God. You can talk to Him about anything. And I say talk to God because you don't have to pray to God. I mean, you can pray if you want to, any way you want to pray. But just talking to Him is praying too. There ain't no special way to pray. Because if you're talking to God, you're doing it right. You can talk to Him about anything. The sky is the limit. Actually, guess what? There is no limit. God can do anything, so there is no limit. But you can talk to Him about anything, ask for anything, vent about anything. Always thank Him for all the good stuff. It's very important that you notice the things that you're happy about in life. That you woke up today, the sun's shining, or maybe it's raining and your garden was dry, So be thankful for all that kind of stuff. Talk to God, let Him know. And while you do that, if you feel like it, tell Him Darren says hi. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. God bless you. And we will see you on the next one.